everyone, how are you today? I'm I've been kind of out of touch. I have been so busy. Um, the Hubbers, he likes to take me to things and I like to stay in bed. I'm kind of very similar to my cats. I'm very much an indoor cat and I'd like to just stay in bed. I have no problem with it. Cats have no problem with it. But nope. He has to take me places. So I like to because I feel very privileged in the things that we get to go to. Um, and so that's where I like to take really good clips. Clips can only be 15 seconds. And so I try to do a lot of those. So they're just the little short clips. And then if you want to see more, go to my channel and look for the rest of the videos or other little clips and stuff. I like to share what I get to have with others. So, um, let me know if you see them and what you think. Well, you'll be seeing more, and I will just not be available for the next week or so. But what I'm gonna do, so I guess it's Monday morning now in the middle of the night. Monday morning in the middle of the night. It's like 2 a.m. Sunday night, going into Monday. I totally went into one of my fibro comas. I went to sleep at about 6 a.m. and I slept until 10 last night. So I did, what is that? 12, 14, about a 16-hour slumber. That's about right for me. And I don't take any sleeping pills. I don't take anything like that at all. I just don't sleep at night. I tend to sleep really well during the day. So as soon as the sunlight comes out, I get tired. Um, and I sleep with my blinds open. I love the sunshine on me while I sleep. I'm a real odd person. But my fibro has been so out of control this week. So between that and getting caught up on everything, I apologize that I've kept you guys waiting on the answers that I have to everything and my insight. So with that, I know, and I can only get better because I'm old and I don't know how to do things. So as I've gotten the feedback that OBS blank screen, people thought that's my screensaver. No, I would never say that as a screensaver. That's the way that OBS looks, so you can see that your system is working. I'll show it to you again. Let's see. So you see how this is moving. I can make sure that my microphone is on. Even so, I've done things before because I'm so freaking talented that the audio wasn't on. So I'm always scared, and I have my phone recording as well a lot of the time until I upload my videos, make sure they're good. So since the OBS thing kind of bothered you, I will try to keep other videos open and go with them. I have really bad neuropathy, as I've explained, and fibromyalgia, of course, and other things I've told you guys about. I won't bore you right now. But as I'm still recovering from my rotator cuff surgery, I'm not allowed to hold anything over a pound yet, and pushing and pulling is still really hard. I have a hard time sewing and handwriting, still just those little things. So I had to use my cane, which I hate, the other day, and it really hurt my arm because I didn't realize I was pushing, using your cane. So at physical therapy, I brought my cane, and I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Because my gimp ass can't even tolerate using my cane right now, and so she had to show me how to properly use my cane using my left hand and get in sync that way. So I did that. It's embarrassing, but if it allows me to not stay in bed and allows me to go out to places and stuff, yeah, it's embarrassing to use my cane or whatever else I need to use. It's embarrassing and people stare, but it is what it is. If I get out of bed, I'm out of bed. I spent 10 years in bed trying to deal with my pain, and Suboxone really has saved my life. I'm out of bed more than I'm in it by far. I'm hardly ever in bed except for when I go into these big sleep comas like I do. And so I shared my Suboxone story as it's important to me because I know that many of you are triggered by the things that we are seeing right now because of the scammer Everything to her is transactional. Everything to her is about getting money. If nobody was giving her cash apps or money, she would go away. She is only on this for one reason, and that is to get money. And that is not fair to the rest of us who work hard and don't make a frickin' dime. I have nothing to hide, so I hide nothing from any of you. And I am to the point now where I got monetized 1 month ago, and I am up to $70 total. Okay, that's how much I've gotten 2 cash apps. Thank you so much. And with the ad revenue and everything, that's a total of $70 that I've accrued for having my channel for 10 months, having to buy a new phone because my one couldn't record, subscribing to services to get the documents that I needed, and buying a laptop because my phone wouldn't work, the microphone, everything else. So I'm $4,000 invested in, and that's not even counting my time or anything. So I invested it to make good content, good responsible content. I never asked anybody for anything. And that's what it is like for a real creator. So it's very offensive when I told the story that's very near and dear to me about MMIW, and I had haters saying that I was trying to exploit MMIW and I'm making all this money off of it and everything. It's like I wasn't even near monetized. I would not think of it. And this is the thing, is that people need to know. They do not generally know that you don't make anything on YouTube itself. The way that you make money is from the cash apps. And because she gets on and begs for the cash apps and she has enablers, that's why she's on. If nobody gave her cash apps, she would not be on. Okay, that's the problem. The people giving her the cash apps. With that being said, the people giving her cash apps are problematic. They are enabling her to do the things that she's doing. If she just restarted a channel like she is every day, that's the other thing. People don't think that their complaints are being heard. They're like, oh, well, YouTube's not doing anything. She's still got her channel. No, she doesn't. She's creating a new channel each day. And then her enablers are allowing her to go on their channels. So, don't watch her. Don't befriend people who are enabling her. When she gets a channel, she gets mods, and she gets the people who watch, and they're hate watchers. Well, what is that doing? It's giving her that attention, and then she gets people who don't know the full story, and they give her the cash apps. Why anybody would donate their time to her after all that they know is beyond me. I feel so indebted to anybody who even watches my videos for, their time, that I haven't asked anybody to even be a mod. I'm not to that point yet to where I would even ask that of anybody. That being said, as there has been so much hurt and damage, I feel that there are huge educational opportunities given to me as I am blessed with a platform right now. I would like to try to then do the panel that I want to do around 10:30 p.m. Tonight. So Monday night around 10:30 p.m. I'll have to figure out. I'm in Minnesota, so I think, am I in Central Standard Time? I don't know. Sorry guys, I've got a headache, so I'm still, kind of not all together. And then what I will do is I will mod up everybody who looks familiar to me that has been a part of the channel, so that if we get any naysayers or whatnot, all of you as my community have the opportunity to whack-a-mole. Okay? What I want to do is I want to provide a safe space for those who have been triggered and hurt by Michelle's exploitation of AA and NA. I want people who have walked that path to sobriety to come on and talk about what their sobriety means to them, how they obtained it, and if and how what Michelle has done has triggered them, and how we can best support them so that they are no longer hurting. Okay? I shared my Suboxone story because it's important to me that people know that there are options out there for people. I am not an addict. I have never been an addict. To be put on Suboxone, they do have to put opioid use disorder, something like that, so that insurance will pay for your Suboxone. My Suboxone is dosed differently because I'm not an addict. It wasn't that I needed to get off the pills, it's that I still have a severe pain condition, pain generating conditions, which are proven. And no, I do not receive disability. We'll talk about that shitstorm some other day. So I felt that as I have a platform here, um, it was important to me to take this opportunity to talk about that so that others who want to know more about Suboxone, how it could help them if they are also a person like me who is um, in a lot of pain, they can take that option. Canada does a great job with Suboxone dosing. Suboxone is an amazing drug in how it responds to the generators that in your brain that tell your brain you're in pain, and whether or not know that you're in pain because it's urgent or if it's chronic pain, Suboxone does a really good job of managing that pain. Now, if I cut myself, I stub my toe, I'm still, of course, going to feel it. It's not like I'm numb in any way. It covers probably 80% of my pain, whereas I was on the fentanyl patch and Dilaudid, and it wasn't covering 30% of my pain. And there, there's just questions as to why not. And did I have a problem with the absorption or whatnot? And I did. I went on to take the gene site testing, and it's true. I don't metabolize nutrients or medications like other people do. So I took that test, I think when I was, 42? And I wish I would have taken it when, they probably didn't have it when I was younger, but it would have saved me so much confusion and whatnot, because there are people like me, and I also have the MTHFR gene mutation. I call it the motherfucker gene mutation. So I don't absorb iron or the B vitamins. So that affects me as well. There are about 15 to 20% of the population, they figure, that has that, and that affects how medications work in your body as well. So there's a lot of people out there that probably don't even know why they're not getting pain relief where they're while they're taking pain meds, and they go to take more, but more is never going to matter, because if your body doesn't absorb it, it's not going to matter. So it was important to me to say that, and then to hear, of course, that Michelle takes it out of text and says that all of us who are talking about her are on Suboxone and we're felons. No, ma'am, I've never been convicted of a crime in my life. And why would I sell them? They are incredibly effective in managing pain. They help me. They allow me to be functional. Without them, I'm a crumpled mass of pain in a fetal position. Why would I sell them? That has never even crossed my mind. Is that what crosses your mind? Stupid bitch. On that note, people who have sold, traded, and abused drugs make it so that people like us who are saying this isn't helping me are not heard. We are called drug addicts, accused of selling our opioids, etc., when it's nothing we would ever do. People like us who are in actual pain cannot get help because of assholes like her. And it disgusts me that she has been able to be so flippant and obnoxious about breaking the laws while on a live stream committing crimes. And nobody does anything when those of us who are actually in pain are treated like criminals every single day. I want to give a safe space for people to talk. And so Monday night, it's going to be about specific to AA and NA and sobriety. The next panel I'm going to do is going to be devoted to people who suffer in pain like me. The next one is going to be about SIDS and loss. And the next is going to be about DV, domestic violence. Those are the first 4 that I have planned. So please email me at tabithajanes0@gmail.com so that you can give me a little bit of your story if you're comfortable with sharing, and so that I can see you and send you a link. Those are going to be the first 4 panels. So the first 4 panels are going to be on AA and NA. The second panel is going to be on those of us who are in pain and have been triggered by the way that she talks about the misuse and selling and flippancy over what we know how opioids are actually to be prescribed. That third panel is going to be on if you or somebody you know has tragically lost a baby to SIDS, or if you've suffered another loss that she has triggered you in. And that fourth one is going to be about domestic violence and how you recognize what she's doing in the cycle of violence, as she is a domestic abuser. She abuses, lies, acts out of control, absolutely obnoxious. Then when she knows that she's went too far, she goes on the I'm sorry apology tour. And she starts wanting to make nice and do good and make special meals and cook and really display that honeymoon period. And you can see how her victims are pulled back into that cycle over and again. So AA, pain, SIDS, loss, and domestic violence. Those are the first 4 panels I want to do. And I'm going to try to do them probably. We'll do the one Monday night, and then I will be out of town-ish until, and then with plans, probably until the next, maybe next Monday. Might be a Monday panel thing. We'll see, because then I don't have as much planned. But like I say, we'll do the mods for people who I recognize in the chat who are like mind, and we'll let the people, if we have to rotate the panels, we will. I've invited Best of YouTube Truths to be with me on that AA one, just because I would like a little bit of help in running the first panel. So it will either go on her channel or mine, depending on if she's, I haven't talked to her about if she's available or not tomorrow night. And then the rest of the panels will be on mine. And what I'm going to do is that I think StreamYard lets me have 10 people on it at a time. Or I will do it through Discord and send a link. We'll see how we're going to do it best. So if we need to rotate people down so that everybody has their space, and we'll probably go for 2 to 3 hours at a time. If it gets to that point and it's too many people have not had a chance to speak, they will be next in line for the next panel, and we'll keep track of that. I just feel like we can really be part of a healthy and healing community after all of the hurt and damage that Michelle has done. I think that that's a huge step in not letting her win. I think that it's a huge step in showing that we don't negotiate with the T word, wrists. Just like Dr. Phil said when he said that about 2-year-olds. Like, why don't you give in to people throwing a tantrum? Why don't you give in to 2-year-olds throwing a tantrum? He's like, I don't negotiate with, wrists. And it's funny because it's all she's doing. She's throwing some big shit fit like a 2-year-old. And if you notice when she comes out of it, she thinks people are going to get in trouble. She goes and she's like, well, and she's talking about Valley Girl. Hold on. She's talking about Valley Girl, right? And Valley Girl said, when she was under duress, because you knew that Michelle was texting her, telling her what to say, well, she got a second to say what she wanted to say, and she said it as nicely as she could. She said, Look, they both had issues. They were probably not right for each other. And they both are alcoholics. Okay? So Michelle heard that. And Michelle is desperate, desperate, desperate to get something that she can leech on to Etienne for right now. Because if she can get something that she can tell Etienne, then she thinks she's going to be able to get back in the game with him and loop him back into all of her games. She's the quintessential narcissist in that manner, and where she loves to do the 2 against 1. Well, in this case, how she's been able to get as many people as she wants against 1. So she took that. The Valley Girl said. And now she's like, oh, Etienne's going to be real happy to hear that. Yeah, Etienne's going to really hear about that. Etienne's not going to be happy with her behavior. Yeah, her behavior. Etienne is not going to like her behavior. We're supposed to focus on that. Because what Valley Girl really did, and this is all your fault, Michelle, you stupid fucking twat. Well, what you did is that you attempted, because you've lost all your clout here on YouTube except for your Bad Apple Gang. You attempted to bring your real life friends into the game and tell them nothing other than the obnoxious stories that you tell minute details of so that you can play the victim and make people think that we're awful. So you thought you'd get your real world friends in to come and attack us, to go and you put yourself behind and you watch them attack us. Like, you know what? It's not going to work. And I want to tell you something. When I was stumbling around the Facebook world, I saw something that looked really familiar. And guess what it was, folks? It was this video here that I reanimated of Penelope's. So people are sharing my videos out there in the real world. So, and Facebook won't play around. Facebook's not gonna deal with her. So please, when you see somebody who has been deplatformed, you see somebody who's not allowed to be on YouTube, continue to report those people who are not allowed to be on YouTube. If they are channel circumventing, creating a new channel each day, that new channel that is out of the terms of YouTube, terms of service, you need to report that as such. Because the people who don't understand just think that she's just going along and has been able to break all those rules, so they think they're going to be able to break them too. That's not the case. Not the case at all. Now, I'm very, very tuned into her games. I said a few, I don't know. Like I said, this migraine is causing me more confusion than it's worth. When I was talking about my channel and trying to figure out, who should I follow? Who are out here? Who do I see that has a lot of subs and has a lot of things? And that's what's really hard, is because some of the ones that have a lot of subs were the ones who were really breaking the rules. And so, when I first started, I was friends with all of the ones that are problematic. Not friends with, but I subbed to them. And then I started seeing the truth about them and their behaviors that I had questions with. And so one by one, I would unsub and find creators that, seemed to do well and had a good following. And one of those was Charlotte on the Web. So I said that. Well, look at what Michelle is saying. I went to Charlotte and I asked her how to do things because I want to know. I want her to give me advice. Where'd you get that idea, P-Brain? She can't get an original idea. And she couldn't cook. She learned everything from Etienne. Etienne made her every meal. And so she has the stuff in the kitchen that she hasn't yet pawned off. So it's there. She's trying to remember what he did, but she doesn't know. She doesn't know how to cook. Do you want to go and eat at her house? If so, go ahead. The other thing that we have been able to find out from her little game of trying to sick her real life friends on, like her ride or die friend, her ride or die friend didn't know shit about her, was not ride or die, knew her for a couple of years, and let's see. As everything is, as it is, transactional with Michelle, it seems that this is a woman who was volunteering, practicing on training Michelle's dogs. Um, it was always very suspect when Michelle would talk about how she had $10,000 dogs and $5,000 into training them and their service dogs and all this and nothing. Hold on. That's a $10,000 training. And then we had to put another $5,000 in for the stroke training. And my dog trainer is here right now. So it's like really weird. Like, what? How do you have all this money for training the dogs and whatnot when they don't know the basic shit? Doesn't make sense. If you really had a stroke, okay, which I truly do not believe that she had either, but given as much as she smokes and drinks and whatever else, she would be at a very high risk of having one. So no doubt when she goes to the ER with whatever symptoms she has, they probably say they need to rule it out. And she goes with that because then she can get the most attention and she knows that people can't exactly disprove it. Well, whether you have a stroke or whatever condition, one of the first things they're going to teach that dog is if the seizures, whatnot, if the person falls down, can't get back up, feel that something's going to happen. They lay down next to that person. If you've ever watched a real service dog do this with a person having a seizure, it's really, really, really moving to watch because the dog will sense it first. The dog will get over to the person. Like I watched this one where this lady was doing dishes or something. She started feeling weird. And the dog got right up next to her, pushed himself into her legs, and she didn't even know. And then she's like looking around. You can tell she loses it a little bit in her head. She's going, what? And then boom, she's down. That dog got in, sheltered her body from the fall. That dog did not let her body feel that fall at all. And then that dog sat with her until it was over. And then when she needed to get back up, you see how a dog is trained for somebody to help get back up. They put their body, they brace it so that you can grab onto the dog. The dog will help you stand back up slowly, and you stand back up. Just like me, because I fall all the time and whatnot, I've worked extensively through PT to learn the best ways to get myself back up after I fall without re-injuring myself, my shoulder, etc., etc. So there are ways in which you learn to get back up. And if you have a service dog, that service dog is going to support you in so doing. Okay? So I did not see that. When Michelle fell in Texas or wherever she was pretending to have a job that she was there for, I did not see the dogs respond in a way that they should have. And I don't think anybody else did either. I want to find the place where she is punching the dogs and specifically send that to Valley Girl and ask if that's one of the things that she taught Michelle to do, since she's the one who has been brought into this, is the one that said that, no need to call because she works at Valley Vet and the dogs are fine and she's fine, all of that. Well, whether or not she wants to say she wasn't there or whatnot, she's sure been used a lot for this. So she needs to know the total story, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I couldn't tell if her internet was bad or if she's got a slow connection. Maybe a combination of both. That we have these days. They didn't have it back when I survived my illness. When I was essentially reborn, a lot of me didn't survive that night. Um, I'm going to mute it while we're doing this and then just let it play. This is the guns that she has. And I want people to know that that's what she's got. And the headlines um this week of the people who have been pew-pewed are important to pay attention to, because she is sitting there threatening to do meet and greets and have all of her buddies and have all of the keyboard warriors come, because she wants to tell them that she's a big YouTuber. So, I mean, YouTube needs to get with it and put a cease and desist on her for even, thinking of using their name. It's not enough that she won't get off the platform. Um, so somebody in the chat said that well, it's not, it's a good time right now for to say I'm doing this under fair use as well, which is in there. But somebody said that I was showing Tim's videos, and I didn't know what they were talking about because I did not get these from Tim's. I've not ever heard what Tim has said myself. I've heard little bits and pieces. So I had seen a video that said from the Tim interview, and I had put it in this playlist, and I also put it in my watch later. I've not had a chance to listen to it, so I pulled it out of the Michelle list. I put it in my watch later, and I will try to listen to it, because it would be interesting to see how my take is as accurate. Is my thing as accurate as what is the truth? Because anytime I say something about her, whatever, oh, I get all the kickback that, oh no, that's not this, that's blah 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 blah. But I think that I've really stepped on some truth. So her MO is to get everybody to stand down that's against her. So the one person who's posing the biggest threat to her and gets all of the hate. And that's what she did repeatedly to Penelope. Is that she'd buddy up with all these creators would do everything, and they'd go and dox for her and everything, and all of the hate would go to Penelope. And just watching from a distance as I did, I felt it was really unfair that Penelope was getting all of the hate. And so that's where I couldn't get a hold of Penelope. And so I just kind of updated some of her videos to where they were, and, just outwardly, openly begged her for forgiveness since I couldn't obtain permission. And she said that she liked what I did and I was allowed to use these. Now she has since taken hers down. I think that she probably enjoys not having the hate, because some of the weird shit I get messaged and the weird things that are said to me, it's just odd, because we're telling the truth. Because if people don't listen and honor and respect the truth, they get hurt. And that's what has happened here over and again by the liar. Crotch on fire, right there. People didn't think that she'd get anywhere, by talking about this, and blah, blah, blah. I think that the first thing out of her mouth is how she's going to sue somebody, she's going to do this and that. I think that she's telling on herself. I think that she gets things to the point with her obnoxious nature that people have to resort to legal measures on her. So she tries to say that that's what she's going to do. Well, she has no grasp on what it takes to file a lawsuit. She gets them filed against her, I'm sure, all the time. But she does not know that there's nothing any of us have done that's illegal. Um, we match what she says, which gives us the right to take apart what she says. And when we find out information which has something to do with what she said and it can be proven as untrue, that's our right with our freedom of press and freedom of speech. We're not breaking the law. She is not special. She is not above anybody. I am sorry that she feels that she's above everybody, but she isn't. Um, I think that we're going to see that the channel circumvention will show that she's probably going to get a cease and desist, like I say, because I explained on Best of Truth last night, YouTube Truth last night. Sorry, maybe I'm having a freaking stroke with this migraine. My God, my head hurts. I can't even talk. I'm sorry. I explained that when my channel got struck down by the tragedy pimps, woke up and my channel was black and it said this channel has been taken away for term violation, blah, blah, blah. I got this email and it said, do not go on a backup channel. Do not go on anybody else's channel. You are no longer a part of YouTube. You are gone. Goodbye. That's it. And I had never had anything go on. When I had done part of, I was trying to do a reaction to the Watts case on the Oxygen channel. And they smack you down so hard if you try to do anything because they don't want their money to be lost by the lies that they espouse on that case in particular. It's a moneymaker for them. So that was my only thing. They said that I was in violation of copyright or whatever, and I needed to take out. Oh my God, look at how nasty your kitchen is and dirty and filthy. Gross. Gross. Clean up. Get off YouTube and clean your freaking house. Nasty. Oh, that. Why don't I decorate my house with beer bottles? I have enough and nothing to do with them. Ugh, clean your house. House. Right there. Clean your house. But that was it. So when with that, I had to keep taking parts of my video out that were in violation of copyright or whatever. It's just a game for them to basically make you take every single thing out of your video. And I could stand on the fair use and take Oxygen to court and whatever. Probably win. But I was just so intimidated that I took it down because I didn't want any kind of a copyright strike. So that was like the only other interaction. So I had no strikes on my channel. Nothing. Nothing. No warnings. Nothing. And I wake up to my channel being down. And I was crying. I went into full panic attack mode. I just was so hurt. I just literally felt gutted. Because, I had these friendships forming and this camaraderie and I think I had 500 subs at that time. But my subs are each built one by one. Everybody matters to me. So I was crying so hard I didn't know what to do. And a couple of people who knew me in real life and knew my channel reached out to me and said, something's going on because a lot of channels are down. And one friend, gave me a link on how I'm supposed to challenge it. Well, you have to have this number of your YouTube account that they give you like the first day that they give you your account. And so I had to find that. And I had screenshotted it somewhere, thank God, because I couldn't find it. So with that, then I was able to challenge it. And there was a couple other videos out there on how to challenge it. And I didn't know if it would work or not. But then 48 hours later, I wake up. My channel's there. and said, "Oh yeah, it was just a mistake. Your channel's restored. No, nothing. No marks, nothing. So my reaction was probably what most would be, of just feeling like that, just gutted, rejected, not understanding, confused. Her, she doesn't care. She gets her channel taken down and she makes a new one. So I don't know if they can block her ISP, because if she has a VPN, they can get different ISPs. I don't know why they've not taken that action. But like I say, it's now this rumor that YouTube's not doing anything. And like I say, that's not true. And although it is frustrating and feels repetitive, we have to keep reporting the channels that she's putting up, even if she doesn't do anything wrong, even if she's behaving. It does not matter. She's already caused all of this damage and hurt, and we need to have time to put ourselves back together and reform and clean up these YouTube streets from this awful train wreck, from this runaway, terrible train that keeps going through and running off the tracks every day. If somebody who has had their channel taken down and they start a new channel, that is channel circumvention. And as I read the new statutes, any money that is raised at that time with Cash App, I believe Cash App is a partner of YouTube. It said that any money raised at that time on a channel that is not up legally, that money will be revoked, taken away, frozen, however. Nobody should be giving her money. Okay? She's a ticking time bomb. From my experience of seeing addicts when I used to work in the hospital, once they started having the toe thing, circulation issues, it was a matter of days before we got the call that that person was found in their apartment or whatever and not alive. So that's why I spoke out so strongly a few weeks ago and said, this is, anybody who's doing this is going to have a hand in her not waking up. And then what? Are they going to all be so sad and so shocked and everything that they were just giving her money and they didn't know that's what she was using it for? No. Now, the toe thing, that is showing that her major organs are not working properly. There cannot be a bigger way that her body is screaming out that it's not working. Speaking of this, this is the funny one. We're watching her right here, where the cops have been out there and she does this crap here. Hold on, come on in. Step to my camera. Artillery, shall we say, that she has inside her home. So they're not going to come in. And this is my theory. This is why she wanted Ski in there, because she knows that when May comes around, she's going to get kicked out per divorce decree, because they need to sell the house and the proceeds of the home are going to be split between the two. Now, it's going to be less the damage that Michelle has done, because they're going to have to get her out, get all of the pests, including her, out, fumigate her out, take that money that she has done in damages off the top, and then split what is left, which won't be much because of how she's trashed the house. I believe she wanted a man in there. She wanted Ski in there with her so that she could be all set up and be all, all tough when the cops come to take her out of the house with all of the that she has in the house, which is disgusting. She doesn't say, "Hi, officers, I'm so sorry. Something trivial has happened online. It is not anything that I would ever wish to have you waste your time. I'm so sorry you're here." Oh no, she has the camera set up and is like, come on in. You're going to be on YouTube Live. That's how she greets the officers that, know her so well, because they know her. She's this outstanding member of the city,
I'm fucking fine, Daddy. Come on in.
But no, we're not coming.
Whatsoever. Come on in. No. I need to make a video. Come on in. No. You in here? Your permission. Okay, hold on.
Yes. Michelle, I'm a little worried you're not going to have enough room for all the trophies you win for the dumbest motherfucker alive. You just...
Could you imagine talking to the cops like that? First of all, she sets up the camera and everything while they're standing out there. And then she's like, rips out the door. And come on in. Come on in. They're like, fuck no. No. We'll just stand out here. Oh no. Come on in. Come on in. And they're like, no, we're standing outside, ma'am. And so then she goes and sets out the camera there. Look at this. What does she have out there? A cup. What is this? A cup for her ashes and everything. The whole house is just nasty. You can see when the films were when ETN was inside the house, and it was immaculate. And she's all nasty. She's all talking smack about me with this thing next to her of dirty dishes and everything. And I'm supposed to take that seriously. It's like, no, man, with me being as handicapped as I am, I still keep my house clean. Thank you. Even if I have to crawl around and do it. So one of the things is that, you know, when I was doing my live the other night and people were saying that she was talking about me and blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I'm talking about her. She can talk about me all day long. I don't care. Threats are not okay. You know, I'd certainly like to know if my personal safety is okay. Let me know that. But I don't care if she talks. I really don't. Saying that I'm selling my Suboxone is a real low blow because now what am I supposed to do to disprove that? You want me to sit there and go and show everybody every single time that I take my Suboxone? Would y'all like to see that every day? I mean, my God. But you know what? No, I have the trust of my doctor who knows, because when you get any prescription prescribed in my state, you have to take a piss test. So it shows that what is prescribed is in you and what is not prescribed is not in you. So, and they can do those spontaneously. If I were to get a call and they say, hey, we just want to run a spontaneous lab, that's fine. Your Suboxone has to be in you. Why would I sell it? Like I say, well, I guess it's somebody who doesn't know what they're for and how they can treat your pain would think of selling them. That'd be the last thing on my list because they're so valuable to me. So the thing about her, this officer is like, what the fuck have I stumbled upon? His head goes with. He's like, what? Person, when you get to know them, talks about surface things and think of a dartboard. Think of, the bullseye, the target. And, or, even a pool where you have the shallow end to the deep end. And a well-balanced, healthy person with boundaries is going to talk about those surface things. And then as you get to know them better and better, you find out more and more things and you share. There's reciprocity. You know about the person as they know about you. And then maybe if you've known each other for a very long time, you get into a point where you let that person know that you're vulnerable. And maybe what the worst day of your life was, and maybe something that happened on that worst day of your life. Okay? A disordered person, such as this one, goes from the outside in. So she goes from the deep end, where she talks about the unfortunate thing about SIDS. Now, she's learned that that's a very easy way for her to get the victim card stamped. Because what does she do? She went straight out to the world and said, "Oh yeah, they're coming after me because of the baby I had that died of SIDS. They're trying to get his death certificate for 19 years ago and come at me about me just because I had a baby that died of SIDS." None of us would do anything of that liking. Why would we even know about that? It's because she put it out there and she told people to go and do disgusting things on her dead baby's grave. Those are her words. The argument that anybody gets in with her, she twists and pulls, just like alligator wrestling. She twists and pulls until she gets somebody to say something about that she said. So then the people who don't have double-digit IQs come after us and say, well, you're talking about a dead baby, a dead child, and that's low. And they're going, no, we're talking about the fact that she's ripped off hundreds of people, has caused the division of how many channels and caused them to go down and people to fight. And she's falsely accused a man who has fought for our country to the point where he suffers from PTSD. She's falsely accused him of domestic violence and wants him behind bars because he left her. And she euthanized his dog because he wouldn't come back to her. And oh, she's known in the community as rescuing animals. Bullshit. She euthanized her husband's dog. Does the dog trainer know that that's why she did that? Oh, they used to rescue dogs together. Why is she banned from going to the rescue facilities? Why is she banned from animal patrol if she was a partner in rescuing dogs? Why would she euthanize Etienne's dog because he would not come back to her that night? Why? You know, after all that Valley Girl learned about her and everything in that day, why was Valley Girl then going on to Ski's panel? Why? She was going over there talking smack about best of YouTube truths to Ski. Ski doesn't want to hear that. He doesn't care. Did it do? Why would she want to go over to Ski's? And you have to pay. There's an entrance fee to ask Ski a question. And she was taking up his time and not paying. I think she might have paid the general entrance fee, but nothing more than that. Was it not enough? So I guess, because my migraine, making me seem like I'm more brain damaged than I already am, I'm going to quit on this note. But if anybody could, please forward the updated Penelope videos to Valley Girl or at Valley. Maybe I should just put this up on my community page for at Valley Girl. If she could see this and see some of the things that maybe she did not understand, but I think that it was valuable what we learned, and we need to remember to keep the focus on the problem, and the problem is Michelle. When Michelle was simultaneously writing that message up there that I work for Valley Vet and the sheriff's there and the dogs and her are fine. That was Michelle writing that to get people to back off from checking on her, although she'd just been threatening to unalive herself. Well, those of us who were watching real good with our binoculars saw her writing on Facebook like there was no problem whatsoever. But, we don't want her to figure out who we are on Facebook now, do we? She thinks people are her friends that aren't her friends. What's she doing? She's an idiot. Look at her. Looking in the camera to make sure she got her camera shot. What? You do this to police officers? What, Valley Girl, you don't need to go to Ski. If you want to find out about Ski, why don't you go to New Jersey courts, njcourts.com, and you'll find out all that you need to know about Ski there. It's hard to ask Ski direct questions. As I've stated in everything, I go to the person first when I hear these things to see if I can ask them something that I can't verify as truth. And if I can't get a hold of them, or if I have to pay an entrance fee, fuck that. I'm going to go and say what I found out. And that's what I had to do. I went to him to find out if what being said was true. And well, there we go. My videos are there. There's a whole playlist on Michelle here. I will not take them down. They're important because they are truthful. In this video, I believe is the one where it has the clip of her punching Jake. I want Valley Girl to see her punching Jake and see if she still feels like those dogs are important for Michelle to keep. Because I don't think that any dog should be punched. It's disgusting. And if it's a service dog, which we know it isn't, all of that is lies now. It's all making a lot of sense. There's so many questions. But yeah, revealing Valley Girl's insight, qualifications, and experience. Explained all we ever needed to know about that story. And then, yeah, when people were saying the vet was shut down, no, I'm sure their website was shut down. I'm sure they had to put down the website. Put down, bad name. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that. The veterinary clinic in the same sentence. I'm sure they had to disable their website because people were going there asking questions, inserting things about Michelle, etc., etc. Michelle's sitting there blabbing about the vet clinic. So everybody associated with Michelle, that Michelle's sitting there trying to get to sick on us YouTubers, is only showing what a nutshell she is. So with that, I'm just gonna go put myself back to bed, take a Imitrex apparently. Sorry. Sorry, I can't get it together tonight. I'll hopefully have it together tomorrow night so we can do that panel, okay? Thanks for listening. And like I say, I've got these playlists. I've got the Michelle playlist. I'll put it on my community page so that people can listen to it. Again, my channel is more of a listening channel because I'm not talented with the clips. I'm learning that there are little software things that I can get on my phone and whatnot and do better. And I'm trying to do better. But for now, remember, this is a listening channel. You can turn it on when you're driving or gardening, taking a shit, showering, whatever you'd like. Doing the dishes. It's one of those. It's one of those things. So thanks for listening, and I will talk to y'all soon. Thanks. Bye bye.